Western Michigan University's Campus News. This week we have news on the racist business card found on campus, the departure of Athletic Director Heather Like, and the results for the EMU gymnastics team at the MAC Championships. Catch a brand new e-walking, the scoop with Sarah, and much more. Stay tuned because this is E-Weekly.
Hi everyone and welcome back to E-Weekly. Not only is the spring weather great, but so is the show we have planned for you today. I'm David Pierce Anderson.
And I'm Jillian Seach. It's been a while since I've been here at the anchor desk, but I'm excited to be back and to give you the news. We've got a full show for you today.
More hateful rhetoric has been discovered on EMU's campus. Last semester, the racist graffiti on the exterior campus walls had the campus on watch. On Monday, an alt-right business card was found in Halley Library. The card was double-sided with the caption, "America was 90% white in 1950, it is now 60%. Make America Great Again." This card was brought to officials' notice immediately upon discovery. The EMU Police Department is currently investigating the situation and the hateful card. EMU's president, James Smith, emailed the student body on the morning of the event that such attacks are hurtful to all of us on campus in the community. He encourages all to stay unified and supportive. He added the racist vandalism that happened last semester is still under active investigation and there is still a $10,000 reward. We here in E-Weekly will be sure to update you on the situation as it progresses.
Hundreds of protesters gathered last Wednesday near the former Willow Run auto plant to protest Donald Trump's first visit to Michigan as president. Standing in the freezing cold, protesters loudly chanted, "Love Trump's hate," and voiced a wide range of objections to Trump, including issues of immigration, healthcare, civil rights, and climate change. Michigan to Believe In led the protest and were backed by many different organizations. The protest remained peaceful, other than some shouting at the Trump supporters. Washtenaw County Commissioner Michelle Dietrich said they were demonstrating in hopes that elected officials and business leaders will realize Michigan is ready to end dependence on fossil fuels. Some of the protesters were there to voice opposition to rolling back federal fuel efficiency standards, stressing the environmental importance of retaining standards put in place under the Obama administration. Trump announced Wednesday that he will cancel an executive order that sets stringent automotive emissions through 2025 models, but some of the sentiments expressed by protesters also were about larger concerns with Trump and the direction he's taking the country.
Ragtime might not be played on the radio too often, but it's still alive. Reginald R. Robinson will be coming to EMU, to perform with the River Raisin Ragtime Review, R4 for short. They will perform Cultural Harmonies, which is a part of a week-long experience in Ann Arbor and Ypsilanti, with events like ragtime lectures, performances, and workshops. Robinson is a music historian and travels across the country lecturing at many universities. He also collects and preserves historical ragtime artifacts. Robinson has also made a name for himself as a musician. He's a self-taught pianist from Chicago and has 5 albums to his name. He has been playing for over 20 years and was recognized with the John D. and Catherine T. MacArthur Genius Award in 2004. Reginald R. Robinson and R4 are going to equal, R7, and a really good time this weekend. Tickets for Cultural Harmonies are $25 for general admission, but if you're a student, you get a fantastic deal, only $5 for admission. Tickets can be purchased at any EMU ticket office by calling 734-487-2282 or online at emich.edu/EMUtix.
Police have launched an investigation after shots were fired around 12:30 a.m. Sunday morning outside of Pita Lux Cafe Hookah Lounge in Ypsilanti Township. Washtenaw County Sheriff Keith Flores said the individual accused of firing the shots had been kicked out of the business for being disorderly earlier in the night. Julio Abdulatif, a manager at the lounge, said a birthday party was underway when other guests started to cause issues with those at the party. A shooting gesture was made by one individual in the parking lot, and a concerned security guard locked the door and made sure everyone was safe. Shots were later heard in the distance. Flores confirmed that several shots were fired in the parking lot, but no one was injured. Sheriff Flores says no one is in custody at this time.
Don't go too far, but if you do, just make sure to be back after the break. We have news, sports, and much more when we come back.
In this day and age of compromised accounts and data breaches, having a strong password is not enough to keep you and your personal information safe. Someone who steals your password could gain access to all your data with nothing to stop them. The Eagle Security Package offers Duo, a tool that provides an additional layer of security to your online accounts through two-factor authentication. This means Duo not only uses something you know, your password, but also something you have access to, such as your mobile device. Duo's two-factor authentication gives you the power to keep your data safe, even if your password is lost. Once Duo is set up, you can access protected sites with your login credentials like you normally would, but it will now be preceded by a message sent to your mobile device prompting you to accept or deny the login. If it's you who logged in, hit the green button to accept it, but if it's not you, hit the red button to deny it. By doing so, this extra step will take a forefront stance at protecting your online accounts from being compromised or breached, and you'll know right away if an attempt was made. For more information about Duo, please visit tiny.emich.edu/Duo.
Welcome back to eWeekly. Jillian has news about EMU athletics.
After a 3-year stint as EMU athletic director, Heather Like has left EMU and will become the new athletic director at the University of Pittsburgh. Like was hired by EMU in 2013 and became the first woman to hold the position full-time in school history. She won the first ever Mid-American Conference Cartwright Award for all-around athletic department excellence in 2014, was EMU's first ever Mac Jacoby Award recipient for female athletic excellence in 2015. She hired 10 head coaches and 13 administrators during her time at EMU. She also placed great emphasis on improving academic performance, overseeing EMU's best cumulative student-athlete GPA registered at 3.25. In 2016, EMU's 178 academic All-MAC award winners were the most in the league. After taking the job, Like led efforts to improve several athletic facilities, including new turf at Rynearson Stadium and upgrades to Varsity Field, Cicluna Field, Jones Natatorium, and the EMU Boathouse. To increase revenue within the department, she developed partnerships with IMG, Learfield Licensing, and more, as well as renegotiated contracts with Pepsi and Adidas. As a result, EMU yielded record-breaking numbers in the 2016 fiscal year, with both the most cash received and most donors in school history. Despite the Board of Regents extending Like's contract through 2020, EMU and Like will part ways.
Next time you're walking around Ypsilanti, take a look at the wayfinding signage. All across Ypsi, you can find signs directing you to popular Ypsilanti spots such as EMU's campus, Depot Town, and museums. Now, those signs have been around a while, but if you look on the top of the sign, you'll see some unique art. A collaboration of several groups and a partnership between the City of Ypsilanti, DDA, and Charter Township of Ypsilanti has resulted in new wayfinding and parking signage. Designed by William Burgard, artistic characters border the wayfinding signage. Rosie the Riveter, the Hudson Commodore, and 16 more creative Ypsilanti designs top the wayfinding signs around town. The signs help set the tone for what visitors can expect when visiting Ypsilanti. Not to mention, they give a cool first impression. The creative, unique signs will be sure to guide you to many Ypsilanti creative and unique hotspots.
That's all the news David and I have for you now. Filling in with the scoop today is Sarah Poderecki. What's up, Sarah?
Hey everyone, remember me? I stepped out from behind the news desk for a week to bring you the scoop with Sarah. Now, as an out-of-state student, I knew next to nothing about Ypsilanti when I came here. Imagine my surprise when I moved here and the talk of the town was none other than a water tower. The Ypsilanti Water Tower, more famously known by its many nicknames, is very visible on the horizon from almost anywhere on Eastern's main campus. But how much do we really know about the highly recognizable landmark? Well, in the 1800s, there was a movement made to relieve sanitation, health, and fire safety worries in our rapidly industrializing country. Of those concerns, fire safety was the greatest. Industries were being built right next to homes and shops, which meant the threat of fire was very real. Water was difficult to access, especially in Ypsilanti, where most people had to walk to rivers or springs in order to get quality water. In 1851, their fears became a reality when a fire destroyed nearly every building in downtown Ypsilanti. For the next 38 years, the people of Ypsilanti lived in fear of the next fire. They were also concerned about the reputation of the Normal College, aka Eastern Michigan, because it was believed that a proper college should have the latest technology and should also be safe for the young women in attendance. At long last, in May of 1889, a vote passed that allowed construction of a water tower to begin. Local men, including many from Ypsilanti's large African American community, helped construct the tower. A quick 10 months after the vote in February of 1890, the 147-foot tower was finally finished. Also built during that time period were 17 miles of pipeline, 132 fire hydrants, a well, and a pumping station. The water tower remained the only tower in the Ypsilanti water system until 1956. Nowadays, our beloved water tower serves as a landmark for driving directions, and as the butt of many jokes. It even holds some awards, including being called one of the 7 of the world's weirdest water towers by Gizmodo, and being named most phallic building by Cabinet Magazine in 2003. Now that you know its backstory, perhaps you'll appreciate the big brick guy in the sky just a little bit more. I'm Sarah Potteracki. Thank you for joining me for this week's Scoop. Before we take a break, we've got another e-walking for you. Alex Zelgut took to EMU's campus to find out what students did for St. Patrick's Day, and to also ask some spirited trivia. Take a look.
This past weekend, we saw the leprechaun come and go as we celebrated the Irish holiday of St. Patrick's Day. I'm Alex, and I'm here interviewing some Eastern Michigan University students about their favorite memories and a little bit of trivia about this special holiday. Okay, we are here today with
Justin Stovall.
All right, Jamal, so how much do you know about St. Patrick's Day?
I know enough, I guess.
So what's your name?
Braden Manor.
All right, Braden. So we just recently passed St. Patrick's Day. Did you do anything fun for the holiday?
I did not. I was lazy.
So Daniel, what did you do this year on St. Patrick's Day?
Nothing.
Nothing at all?
Nothing.
Didn't have a drink?
I had to work in the morning.
No girlfriend to spend it with?
I have no girlfriend.
All right, Kimberly, so I'm just going to ask you a few questions about St. Patrick's Day since it recently passed. So start, what did you do for St. Patrick's Day?
I mainly just spent it in the car, just laughing about how bad being my mother's Irish accent was.
So now that's wholesome St. Patrick's Day fun. You don't always need alcohol to have a good time.
Well, considering that I am too young to drink.
Even better. Now, Davon, I'm just going to ask you a few questions about St. Patrick's Day. Did you celebrate this year?
I did.
And what'd you do without giving us any detail that could incriminate you, of course?
I had some good old college fun, yeah.
Good old college fun, that's what I like to hear. What did you do on St. Patrick's Day this year?
I had a Shamrock Shake and I watched Iron Fist.
See, now that is a real party. That is how you celebrate.
It was lit.
All right, so I got a couple trivia questions, just test your knowledge on St. Patrick's Day. So do you know who St. Patrick was?
No.
All right, I got a couple trivia questions on ask. See, test your knowledge on St. Patrick's Day.
All right, I'm Christian, so let's see how this plays out.
All right, so do you know who St. Patrick is or was?
He was a saint that went to Ireland in an effort to convert the Irish people to Christianity.
Where was St. Patrick born? Ireland, Scotland, or Great Britain?
Great Britain.
I'm pretty sure he was Scottish.
Let's say Ireland.
He actually wasn't. He was actually born in Great Britain.
I was going to say that, but you're right. Okay.
What was the first color associated with St. Patrick's Day? Blue, green, or yellow?
My gut is telling me yellow, but I'm going to go for blue.
Well, I know the clover was originally associated, so I'm going to go with green, but I feel like I'm wrong.
It was actually blue. All right, so I have a few trivia questions for you. I'm just going to ask you this for a little bit of fun. So do you know who St. Patrick is or was?
I know that St. Patrick's was originally British. I don't remember his true name, but I know he was from Britain. His original color was blue. I mean, the actual color that was associated with him was blue, not green, because it was the color of hope.
Okay. So St. Patrick's Day always takes place on March 17th. Do you know what happened on this day?
I feel like I should, but I don't.
Did he die on that day?
I have to say it's the day when he died. Am I close, or?
It is actually the day that he died, yes. All right, so that's 2 points for you.
Yes.
He died, and so we're drinking to celebrate his death.
Well, that is correct. What year did America first celebrate St. Patrick's Day? 1737, 1834, or 1910?
1910?
1737, although does it really count since we weren't a country?
That is both correct and a very profound question. So, my next question is, where was St. Patrick born? But you already answered that one.
Hey.
And my final question is, what was the first color associated with the holiday? And you answered that one too. So I think you get bonus points for that. She answered it before we even asked. And that's all the questions I got. Thank you for doing this interview with us, and you've definitely got more knowledge on this topic than anyone else we've interviewed so far. Where's Daniel at? And that's all we have for this week's eWalking. Hope you join us next time. Back to you.
Are you an EMU student interested in getting a first-hand experience working at a radio station? Well, say no more. EMU offers a class through Eagle Radio that will thoroughly prepare you for a real-life experience. But first, you have to register for the class. Pick a date and a time slot. Then the world is yours. Eagle Radio allows you to be fully independent and customize your own show. Have real conversations about the news, celebrity gossip, update listeners about the weather, play a trivia game. It's your show. You're free to name your show whatever you want and play any edited music of your choice. If you love having heated debates and you feel your words need to be heard, then Eagle Radio is just for you.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Derica Bennett, and this is Eagle Sports Sprint Edition. The EMU women's gymnastic team successfully defended their MAC title this past weekend, winning the 2017 MAC Gymnastics Championship with an outstanding team total of 196.5, narrowly defeating second-place Bowling Green by 0.1. EMU's team score is the second best score in Eagles history. The Eagles hit every single one of their routines and came up clutch on the final event with a big bars rotation. In fact, the green and white broke the bars record with a 49.3, while also posting the fourth best beam total in EMU history. In total, the green and white had a 49 or better on each event for the first time this season. The conference championship is the third in the program history, as the Eagles previously claimed the title in 2007 and 2016. Over the weekend, the EMU's women's swim and dive team finished their season at the NCAA championship. The EMU women's swimming and diving team completed 2 days of competition at the NCAA championships on March 17th and 18th in Indianapolis, Indiana. On the first day, sophomore Delaney Duncan placed 29th with a time of just over 1 minute in the 100 backstroke, while senior Alexis Mitchell-Tree placed 38th in the 100 backstroke. Mitchell-Tree clocked in with a time of 53.29 to wrap up a top 40 day of prelims. Mitchell-Tree performed in her final collegiate race with a 46th place finish in the 200 backstroke, clocking in at 1 minute and 56.61 seconds. Saturday's competition concluded the season for the Eagles. The ladies finished the 2017 campaign 8-0 in duels and 4-0 in Mid-American Conference meets. Spring is finally here, which means spring football is coming up. Even though spring has only been going on since Monday, the EMU football team completed its 5th practice of the 2017 spring season last Thursday at their indoor practice facility. During the spring practice period, the Eagles will be on the field 3 times per week. Their intra-squad spring game will be a capper for the practice period, as head coach Chris Creighton and his staff will put on a full squad scrimmage for Eagles fans on the great turf at Rynerson. Kickoff is scheduled for 3 p.m. on April 8th. Moving on to some healthy news, the United Dairy Industry of Michigan partnered with EMU's athletic department to support the on-campus food pantry. For every free throw made at a home game throughout EMU's 2016-17 basketball season, Michigan's dairy farmers donated funds to Swoop's Food Pantry to help the EMU students get a healthy dose of calcium in their diet. In total, 455 free throws were made at, and UDIM donated only $1,000 to Swoop's Food Pantry. There were a combined 30 EMU men's and women's basketball home games this season at the EMU Convocation Center. Dairy products are often one of the most requested items at food pantries. However, they are perishable and difficult to keep on shelves. The goal of Swoop Students Food Pantry is to create a sustainable resource for students to temporarily help meet food needs, distribute food discreetly in easily accessible and safe environments on campus, and to provide additional resources and community partners to assure the sustainability of the pantry. With the help of the United Dairy Industry of Michigan, EMU students will have more access and options for their dairy intake. And that concludes today Eagle Sports Sprint Edition. I'm Derica Bennett, but make sure you stay tuned for what's next on eWeekly.
My favorite band just put out a new CD. I was super excited. I've been waiting forever for it to come out. But I was having a little cash flow problem. I asked some of my friends if they had the new CD yet, and they said I could get it for free if I found a pirated copy online. Without hesitation, I went on my computer and I found a website that had a free pirated copy, and I clicked download. It was that simple. After downloading it, I went to my computer and I opened my music player to listen to it, but my computer had slowed down to almost a stop. All I ended up with was a virus, not my band's album. I guess when you pirate anything, you run the risk of an infection. Not to mention, if you get caught, there could be legal issues. It really does pay to pay. My name is Emma, and I'm trying to be e-safe.
Welcome back to eWeekly. We have another exciting weekend coming up on campus for us. Sarah Poderecki has Eagle Encounters. Sarah?
Hello again. If you're as stressed out as I am, you'll be relieved to hear there isn't much to distract you from studying and working on homework this weekend. Campus has lots to offer this Friday, but Saturday and Sunday are looking pretty light. The Honors College is holding its annual lock-in this Friday from 7 to 11 p.m. This year they're going with a carnival theme, so expect to see a magician, a balloonist, henna tattoos, carnival games, tarot readings, popcorn, and cotton candy. They're even featuring Laugh-A-Minute Enterprises as entertainment, and a few of their members are friendly faces here at ETV. If you're looking for an exciting night out, head on over there. The event is free. If you want a quieter night, come over to the Student Center for their weekly Friday night movie. This week they're showing Rogue One, a Star Wars story at 8 p.m. and 10:30 p.m. Watch the Rebel Alliance make a risky move in stealing the plans for the Death Star, which sets up the epic saga to follow. The event is free and open to the public. Looking for a calm, sophisticated night? Come see the Bach Brahms Project Concert No. 2 at 8 p.m. in Pease Auditorium. This event is the second of 4 concerts featuring Joel Schoenhals on piano. This event is also free and open to the public. Hopefully after that crazy Friday night out, you're ready for a few fun events on Saturday. From 10 a.m. to 12 p.m., there is an EMU Graduate Open House in the Student Center Ballroom. Are you interested in earning a graduate degree or certificate from EMU? Come to this event to get more information and to learn about graduate assistantships and doctoral fellowships. You can even apply for your first program for free. This event itself is free for all students. Saturday night is pretty quiet on campus except for the River Raisin Ragtime Review performing at 8 p.m. in Pease Auditorium. Known as R4, this critically acclaimed 13-piece ragtime orchestra is something you will not want to miss. Based in Southeast Michigan, they have paired up with EMU to present an evening of new orchestrations of ragtime works by Reginald R. Robinson. Admission is $25 for the general public, but only $5 for students. Head on over to emich.edu/EMU-TICS for tickets. There aren't any events going on this Sunday, so take the day to relax and catch up on some homework. Thank you for joining me on Eagle Encounters. I'm Sarah Poderecki. Have a fun week.
Thank you, Sarah. Now, before we wrap up today, I'd like to give a quick shout out to a longtime ETV crew member, senior Kyle Warzebach. Today is Kyle's birthday. Kyle has worked as producer, director, audio, and he's doing teleprompter today with his time here at ETV. Not only does he do some great work behind the scenes, but Kyle also does the voiceover intro to eWeekly every week. Now, I'll share a little story because the first couple of times I heard the voice over last summer, I just assumed it was some professional or a perfect voice generator app. I don't really know. It took me a while to realize that was Kyle. He's got a silky smooth voice, and I want to wish him a happy birthday. ETV couldn't do it without you, Kyle.
Happy birthday, Kyle. That's all from us here at eWeekly. If you like what you see and want to watch this show or any other show on demand, head over to ETV at EMU on Facebook or YouTube.
Thank you for tuning in. As always, it's been a pleasure. I'm David Pierce Anderson.
And I'm Jillian Seach. Have a great weekend, guys.
from True EMU.
We are True EMU.
The Scoop with Sarah, and much more.